The star of Beijing when he was just aged 18. The referee Mariano Travaglino of Argentina bringing the captains together before we kick off. If you haven't actually been watching five-a-side football before at this event, bear in mind it does get rather quiet simply because we have four players who are blindfolded. The goalkeepers are allowed to be sighted, but there is sound, bells coming from within the ball, obviously to aid the players, and that's why the crowd stays quiet until something has happened.
France, kick off. Okay? Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck, sir. Bora, bora! Gu, depois pega uma água pra mim, deixar do lado. Eu, Ricardo.
It is a gorgeous day for football here in London. Sun is shining, slightly chillier than it's been in previous days, but superb for playing football. As you notice, there are walls surrounding this five-a-side court, so the ball is in play all the time. There are no throw-ins, there are no corners. It is effectively constant action. France kicking off in the white. Brazil, and you can see Jafinho there, number 7, in the green.
Você, Ricardo. Não larga dele.
First attempt coming from Frédéric Villarou of France.
J'appuie. Accélère, vamos. Aí, com ele. Vai, Ricardo, vai, Ricardo, e fora. Aí, Ricardo, deixa não. Vamos.
And apart from the sound of players, you will hear the odd advice because both teams are allowed to have a guide who will shout advice from either behind the goal or on the side. Advice regarding position of players, obviously, and, of course, position of the opposite team. It's going to come near to Ricardinho. As per usual, some colourful names on the Brazilian side. Felipe Alves Marques Jose is Marquinhos. We have Nonato, the aforementioned Jafinho, Gledson, Fabio, and Ricardinho. Full name Ricardo Alves Steinmetz. Free kick to Brazil. Recadinho and Gabriel Silva on this corner. This is Recadinho. David Labarre for France. This is Frederic Villaroux. Instructions coming from the Brazilian coach Ramon Pereira de Souza. Gabriel Silva looking for Jafinho again. Martin Baron for France. Recadinho. Stolen by Villaroux. Martin Barra being hassled by Jafinho. Villaroux again. That's the first shot on target. Jafinho. Well left by Abderrahim Maya in the French defense. I think left expecting a goal kick, but it's going to be Jafinho with, I guess in hockey terms, we call this a short corner. Jafinho to Recadinho. Some claims for a penalty denied by the referee, of course. This is Villaroux.
Devant le gardien. Ok. Ok. Un coup presse.
Gabriel Silva looking for Ricordinho. Corner conceded by Maya of France. Good tackle by Villaroo. Play on, says the referee. Villaroo straight back on his feet.
David, accélère. Accélère vers le but. David, David. Jacques. Oui. Encore, encore. Perdu. Reviens. Bola aqui, Jefinho! Pode vir, Jefinho, na banda! Bola aqui, Jefinho! Bola aqui! Accélère, passe! Perdu! Gagne-le, encore. Là, je replace ça défensivement. Stop. Sorry, out. Corner kick, cross. Corner kick, yes. Corner kick.
So corner it is to France. This is Martin Baron. Well hassled by Cassiores. Baron doing well. Could go all the way. Good run by Baron. Cassiore is looking for Ricardinho. Looking for Jaffinho as well.
Perdu, perdu, reviens,
It's a terrific run by Jaffinho. David Labard chasing him the whole way. Villaroo back in defense as well with the tackle. Well, a crunching tackle there from Gabriel Silva. Not the first time he's done that to Frédéric Villaroo of France. No quarter given in this game. So 50 minutes gone in the first half of 25 minutes, defending champions. In fact, the only Paralympic champions, Brazil winners from Athens and Beijing against the European champions in France. If you're just joining us, this is being coming to you live from the Riverbank Arena scene of the hockey a couple of weeks ago. Converted to a superb five-a-side court for these two teams and indeed the rest of the teams taking part in this event. Two groups, A and B, then we go to semi-finals and a bronze medal match. And of course, as ever, Brazil, red-hot favourites, as they are in most football tournaments. This is Cassio Reis. Monty Baron with this corner looking for Frédéric Villaroo. And that'll go for a goal kick. Fabio in goal for the Brazilian side. Toussaint Acquet is the French coach. the man you've been seeing getting animated a couple of times. And this is Ramon Pereira de Souza of Brazil. Gabriel Silva looking for Ricardinho.
Bola, Jefinho, bola aqui, Jefinho. Tem move. Abaixa.
Quite a tussle developing between Frederic Villaru and Gabriel Silva of Brazil, both stockily built players, as you can see, and Gabriel Silva taking no prisoners. Villaru doesn't seem to mind at all. This is Baron. Jefinho.
Já foi, Ricardo, já foi. Banda, Jefinho, banda! Vai! Volta mais, Dino. Bola aqui, Ricardo. Bola aqui na banda. Pode vir, Ricardo. Pode vir.
You saw Raimundo Nonato warming up on the sidelines for Brazil. Coach looking to make a change. Cássio Reis in midfield for the Brazilian side. Slightly fresh morning here in London, certainly cooled down a bit over the last couple of days. Spot of rain yesterday. Brazilian side no strangers to playing in the UK. They won the World Championships in Hereford, which qualified them for this event 2 years ago. Hereford to the north and the west of London by 150 miles or so.
Substitution for Brazil, leaving the field number 7, Jefferson Gonçalves, on his place number 8, Raimundo Mendes.
So Jefinho taking a breather. Nonato coming on. Well, Ricardinho's moved out onto the right-hand side where Jofinho was playing. The Brazilian coach thinking that perhaps he's going to have more luck on the right than on the left. Nonato coming in on the left-hand side for Brazil, already in the action. For France, you think if they're going to make a breakthrough, it's going to be through the likes of Frédéric Villarou, who does seem to be everywhere for them, be it defence and attack. Ricardinho and Nonato. So quite phenomenal skills on display from both players, but certainly Ricardinho. And there's another crunching tackle coming in from Gabriel Silva on the same man, Villarou, who I've got to say is in the wars. Too many fouls in this game, and you will have to be substituted. You may be noticing that the players are all wearing exactly the same eye masks, just to make sure there is consistency of lack of sight. Even more remarkable when you see some of the skills that are on offer from the likes of Jofinho and Villarou and the aforementioned Ricardinho.
Bab, Bab, bouge Bab. Tu sais ce que tu dois faire. Oui Bab. Non, à gauche Bab. Voilà. Hein? Je vais te dire. C'est Bab qui joue, c'est Bab qui joue, c'est Bab qui joue. On leur laisse le temps de prendre la balle.
This is David Labar to Villarou. Cassiores for Brazil, bringing the ball out of defence. Nonato looking for Ricardinho. And that's the end of the first half, the first 25 minutes, which has been all action, but no goals scored for. Frédéric Villarou has gone close for France and has been everywhere. He's also taking a bit of a clattering from some of the Brazilian defenders, so he's going to enjoy his half-time break. Gabriel Silva, the man who has given him a bit of a clattering, and we'll have to watch his step. I think the referee was saying to the players earlier on.
The break, it's Brazil 0, France 0.
We'll come back and talk to you when the second half gets underway.
So the second half will kick off in 10 minutes time. In the meantime, during this break, please remember there's no smoking in the ground. The smoking area can be found along the fence line in the concourse. Please make sure you don't smoke in any other area. Also, if you're leaving the stadium this half-time, please make sure you hold on to the handrail as you go down the stairs. You can use both sides of the staircase, and please listen for any instructions from our stewards. They are there to keep you safe. Also, please don't stand on the seats. This is very unsafe. And make sure you keep the exits clear and don't stand or sit in the gangways. Please keep moving if you are leaving the stadium. So, a tense first half, a thrilling first half. The second half, I'm sure, will be every bit as exciting. And if this is your first experience of five-a-side blind football, I'm sure you'll have been blown away by the level of skill on display here at the Riverbank Arena from, let me remind you, completely unsighted players. Now, Marcus, I believe, is with some supporters, so let's find out what they made of our first half. Marcus.
Yes, I'm up in the top of the east stand over here, ladies and gentlemen. I've got Sam and Steve with me. They've come offend on seed today. Sam, you are a five-a-side player. How have you found the blind football so far?
It's quite surprising because five-side usually is quite fast-paced. I didn't think it would be as fast-paced in blind football, but it really is. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Steve, were you surprised on just how physical it was?
Yes, I think they're very brave. Just to be playing this sport level over to be competitive.
Absolutely. And Sam, you talked about the speed of the game. Some of the dribbling, I mean, is it not better than some of the England internationals who play for our 11-a-side team?
Yeah, I guess so, like Heskey and stuff.
Indeed. So, were you impressed particularly with Brazil or France, Steve?
Well, I'm just pleased to be able to see teams like Brazil and France. That will something to tell the guys at work.
Who would you fancy for the second half, Sam? Brazil or France?
I think it's quite even though. Maybe France have had a few more efforts and goals. So. Yeah.
And would you fancy having a go of the blind five-a-side yourself?
Possibly, but I'd probably fall over a lot. So.
Great stuff, guys. Okay, back to you, Pete, on the football pitch.
Thanks, Marcus. It was indeed an incredible first half. The second half, as I said, should be every bit as exciting. Now, just a couple of pointers during that first half. You probably saw our match official running over to the technical dugout over here, holding up fingers and giving instructions and information to our scorers and officials. That's because if a player commits 5 fouls, he has to be substituted and he can't then return to the field. So you will see our officials in the technical area holding up paddles with numbers on them. That's counting each player's individual fouls. Once a player gets to 5 individual fouls, he then has to be substituted and he can't return to the field for the remainder of that game. Also, I don't know if you were keeping an eye on our scoreboard, but in the last 2 minutes of each half, the clock is stopped for free kicks, for corners and for goal kicks, so that the half does finish exactly on 25 minutes instead of using added time as perhaps you'd be used to in perhaps Premier League football. Also, can I thank you all for being absolutely silent through the game. Applauding skill is fantastic, but the players, remember, are reliant on the noise made by these balls with the bells inside and the rebounding noise of our surrounding walls. So, by all means, applaud skill, but during the game, please make sure you're nice and quiet. Remember, let them hear, hold your cheer. It's a big second half for both sides. Would you welcome back to the field, Brazil and France?
Welcome back to the second half at the Riverbank Arena. Brazil against France in the five-a-side. No score so far if you're just joining us. And in the group stage, at least, if it stays this way, then there will not be any sort of penalty shootout or extra time played. That doesn't happen until the knockout phase beyond the group stage. So at the moment, it's very much even Stevens, with France having more shots on target, too, in the first half compared to none from Brazil, who've been struggling to find a way through the very busy French defence. Recordinho and Gabriel Silva about to kick off for Brazil. Not for the first time in this game, Frederic Villarreau coming up against the imposing figure of Gabriel Silva in the Brazilian defence. He's a player who's been around a while, Gabriel Silva, gold medalist in 2004 and 2008. And in fact, there are 5 players in the Brazilian squad who have gold medal winning experience. Martin Ballon for France. Sporting return of possession by David Lebar, France, back to the Brazilian team. By the way, if you're just joining us and you are wondering why it is so quiet, of course, this game is always quiet. The players depend entirely on sound, with the sounds coming from the ball. And the only other sounds you can hear are from the players themselves and from advisors behind the goal or to the side. So the crowd is respectfully asked to keep quiet, which they do until the end of a certain play. Recordinho against Villarreau. Making good use of the wall is Frederic Villarreau. Marshall by Cassio Reyes. And that's about the closest anyone's coming to scoring. Once again, that man, Frédéric Villaroux, making all the running for the French team. France are the European champions, up against a side that have won the last 2 gold medals at the Paralympic Games of Athens and Beijing in 2004 and 2008. But Brazil certainly aren't having it all their own way. Anything but in this game against a talented French side. This is Ricardinho. Villaroux again. And you've got to say that's a terrific shot, and also a good save from Fabio in the Brazilian goal. This is the man who came on in the first half for Jafinho. It's Nonato. For Brazil, Cássio Reis at the back. Fabio in goal. Villaroux going past Gabriel Silva. Martin Baron providing support on the far side. Good run by Ricardinho, not for the first time today. Corner to Brazil. David Labarre of France up against Gabriel Silva.
Certo, ele tá certo. Vamos lá. Bola ao chão, vai lá, Ramon. Disputa de bola. Mais perto, Ramon. Faz tudo a bola. Aí. Pega, viu? É pau, Donato. Não, tira o balão, Estão duro, bateu. En place. Vai, Ramon. Vai. Viu? Deixa aí não, viu?
Villaroo to Baron. Villaroo, a man who is both in attack and defence. Martin Baron ploughing a lonely furrow on that left-hand side. Abdelrahim Maya along with Martin Baron on the French corner. Maya actually born in Morocco. So just under 15 minutes to go in the second half. And France certainly have been the team that have come closer on two distinct occasions of taking the lead against the Paralympic and World Champions Brazil. Well, not for the first time, a French player coming up against the unmovable object of Gabriel Silva in the Brazilian defence. Abdelrahim Maya on that occasion, referee to restart. Referee Mariano Travelino from Argentina, by the way. And if you're a fan of five-a-side, more games to come. Games on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and the final next Saturday. But certainly today we have China against Turkey after this game. And the home side, Great Britain, are playing against Spain in a few hours' time on this arena. Expect some raucous support for the home crowd, albeit silent support, as indeed the crowds have to be in this game, so the players can actually hear the ball. Great Britain against Spain, team who were beaten by France in the European Championship last year in Turkey. This is Nonato.
Outro lado, Ricardo. Vamos, volta aí, Ricardo, banda.
Well, I think it's a first in this game. Gabriel Silva coming off second best in that physical encounter. David Labar flattening the man Da Silva, veteran of 2 previous Paralympic Games for the Brazilian side. Jonathan Granger is the French goalkeeper looking for Villarreal. And this is Labar. This is Ricardinho. And remarkably, that is the closest that this Brazilian side have come to scoring in this game. 10 minutes to go. You do have a feeling if there's a breakthrough going to come from this Brazilian side, it will come through the likes of Noninho. A return of Jefinho, though, who went off in the first half. Nonato came on for him in the first half. Marquinhos is the other player you can see there due to come on the field of play. So the Brazilians due to make a change. Number 6, Felipe and Marques Jose Alves, known as Marquinhos, will come on the field of play. Ricardinho, who's given his all, makes way for Marquinhos. And Nonato, who replaced Jefinho in the first half, is now replaced by Jefinho. Well, that's Villarreal, who's taken a bit of a knock from Cássio Reyes in the Brazilian defense. It's been a tough day in the office for Frederic Villarreal. And of course, as in football, when there is a break in play, ball is sportingly returned to the side who had possession before the break in play. Villarreal there, back on the ball again. This is Marquinhos, who's just come on. Martin Baron against Marquinhos. Marquinhos coming off better on that occasion. He's got Jafinho on the outside, number 7. This is Villaroo. He's done this before.
Eu pedi.
Ah, porra, fala mais alto então, pô.
Tá bom, foi mal.
Vamos lá, vamos entrar no jogo.
Toussaint Apoué, the French coach, barking instructions at his players as he's been doing all day long. Gabriel Silva having his eye mask adjusted and checked by the referee.
Tá bom? Eu, perfeito.
Paga a bola pra ele, Jefferson.
So a chance for some water and a chance for the coaches, respective coaches, Toussaint Apoué of France and Ramon Pereira de Sousa of Brazil, to reorganize the team, issue instructions, and see if they can get a breakthrough in this. The first game in Group B. And the crowd starting to fill up, of course, perhaps in anticipation later of Great Britain, the home side, playing against Spain. That's the last game. It's in Group A. And that's going to be kicking off in about 5 hours' time. Back underway with that French corner. Baron and Villaroo. Play on, says the referee. Villaroo down with an injury. This is Marquinhos.
Vai, Marquinhos. Vai, filho, mais. Boa. Foi.
What a change for the last 5 minutes. Marquinhos is going off after a short appearance in the second half. And Ricardinho, certainly Brazil's most potent attacker, comes back onto the field of play after a hiatus on the sidelines. Immediately in the action. Well, this is a dangerous moment for the French team. Free kick just outside the area. Ricardinho, Jafinho and Gabriel Silva deciding exactly what's going to happen. Martin Baron, Frederic Villarou in the French defensive wall. Jonathan Grangier is the French goalkeeper, you can see just behind. Just over 3 minutes on the clock till the end of this game. Nil-nil it may be, with the clear-cut opportunities have certainly come the way of the French team through this man ostensibly, Frederic Villarou, who's had a day-long battle with the big Brazilian number 9, Gabriel Silva. No quarter given, and none taken either. Well, it may have been coming for Gabriel Silva. He's put in quite a few hard tackles, not every single one legitimate. Mainly on Villarou, the most dangerous player on the French side. He was had a day of hitting the deck and picking himself back up again. Free kick to France. You can see the man behind the goal is the French advisor. They're allowed to have someone on the sidelines advising and shouting positions. You may have seen earlier the Brazilian advisor tapping the goalpost so the players could see, or hear rather, where the goalposts were. There we go. There's the French advisor doing exactly the same.
Referee, can I speak again? No play. Silence. No.
David, écoutez-moi, là vous êtes plein axe. Axe. En droit.
David Labar, Frederic Villarou, the men over the ball. Cassiore is coming straight out of the wall, making that tackle. Corner to France with less than 2 minutes on the clock here at the Riverbank Arena. Fabio bowling the ball out quickly to Ricardinho. Play on, says the referee. Haven't seen a great deal of Jaffinho since he came back on in the second half. Highly rated Jaffinho, star of the last Paralympic Games in Beijing, number 7 for Brazil. Martin Barron looking for Villarou, but the Ricardinho has the ball. David Labar with a crunching tackle. Well, Fabio had seen Jaffinho way up the pitch, looking to find him with that long throw. Jonathan Grangier for France doing the same for Villarou. Toussaint Apoué knowing that possibly it could be France's last chance to get a score on the board with the clock about to count down to 50 minutes. Abdelrahim Maya in defence for France. Typical run by Villarou, but his nemesis today, Gabriel Silva, was there again. Full-time whistle. The crowd relieved to be able to make some noise after staying silent, as is the custom during this game. 0-0 between France and Brazil. And of course, this is just the group phase. Had this been into the knockout event in the semi-finals, we will be going to extra time. Normally 2 periods of 5 minutes gets played in the knockout. And then, of course, we have the dreaded penalty shootout, but not until the semi-finals and indeed the final. China against Turkey is coming up next. Ireland against Argentina and Great Britain against Spain are the remaining games today, and then there is no more five-a-side football until Sunday when Brazil play again in this group. They're playing Turkey. France will then play their second game against China. That is the second game at this arena on Sunday. Spain, Argentina Everyone looking forward to seeing Argentina, of course, playing against Great Britain on Sunday.